Once upon a time, in a beautiful mountain valley, there was a small wooden bridge that stretched over a fast-flowing river. The bridge was narrow, barely wide enough for one animal to cross at a time, yet it was the only way to get from one side of the valley to the other. On a bright and sunny day, a proud goat named Gruff set off to cross the bridge. He had sharp horns, a sturdy frame, and a strong belief that he was the most important animal in the valley. Gruff trotted confidently toward the middle of the bridge, thinking only of himself. On the other side of the bridge, another goat named Rocky also began crossing. Rocky was equally strong, equally proud, and equally stubborn. He believed that no one should stand in his way. Step by step, he moved toward the middle of the bridge, completely unaware that Gruff was approaching from the opposite side. As fate would have it, the two goats met right in the middle of the narrow bridge. Neither could move forward, and neither was willing to back down. Gruff stamped his hoof and glared at Rocky. "Move aside," he demanded. "I was here first, and I will not turn around." Rocky snorted and lowered his horns. "You think I'll step back for you? Never. I have just as much right to cross this bridge as you do." The river below roared, the water crashing against the rocks. But the goats were too focused on their argument to notice. Each stubbornly refused to budge. Gruff leaned forward, his voice rising. "If you don't move, I'll make you move." Rocky stood his ground, glaring back. "Try it, and you'll regret it." The tension grew. The bridge creaked under their weight as they pushed against each other, horn to horn. Neither would yield. The animals watching from the banks began to murmur, worried about what would happen next. Suddenly, with a loud crack, the fragile wooden bridge gave way. The two goats, locked in their battle of wills, plunged into the cold, rushing river below. The water carried them downstream, tumbling and splashing as they struggled to stay afloat. Eventually, Gruff and Rocky scrambled onto opposite banks of the river, soaking wet and exhausted. They glared at each other from a distance, but neither said a word. The lesson was clear. From that day on, the goats avoided the bridge, choosing other paths that required cooperation instead of conflict. And the animals of the valley often told the tale of Gruff and Rocky to teach others an important truth: stubbornness and pride can lead to disaster. And so, the story of the two goats reminds us all that compromise is often wiser than confrontation. By insisting on their own way, Gruff and Rocky lost more than they gained. It is better to yield and move forward together than to let stubbornness lead to ruin.